Have you ever tried a health hack that seemed like a game changer, only to find out later it made things worse? We've all been there. Those quick fix solutions that promise to improve our health in an instant, but leave us feeling worse than before. Well, today I'm going to share 8 life hacks that I thought would improve my health, but instead they completely backfired. You might have even tried a few yourself, and if so, I want to hear about it in the comments below. So stick around until the end of this video, because by the time we're done, you'll know exactly what not to do when it comes to these popular health tips. Let's start with a hack that almost every health-conscious person has heard of: cutting carbs. I jumped on the no-carb diet trend, thinking it would give me more energy and help shed some pounds. But let me tell you, after a few weeks of depriving myself of some of my favourite foods, I ended up feeling sluggish, irritable, and just plain miserable. Sound familiar? I'll explain why this health hack didn't work for me, and why it might not work for you either. Next up, energy drinks. I thought these little cans of caffeine could save me during those long afternoons when my energy was dipping. But what I didn't realise was that I was setting myself up for a major crash later on. I'll break down how these quick fixes actually make things worse and what you can do instead to stay energised without relying on a sugary drink. And that's just the beginning. From quick workout routines that sound too good to be true, to trusting low-fat foods that promise to help you lose weight, I'm going to walk you through the 8 hacks that led me to worse health outcomes. Each of these hacks seemed like a good idea at the time, but as you'll see, sometimes the most popular advice can do more harm than good. So, as we dive into each one, think about your own health journey. Have you tried any of these? Let me know in the comments. And if you're enjoying this so far, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on more honest health tips like these. Trust me, by the end of this video you'll be better prepared to make smarter health choices. Let's get started. Let's dive into the first hack that I tried, and boy, it sounded so promising: the no-carb diet. Like many others, I was looking for a way to lose a few pounds quickly and feel more energized, so I thought cutting carbs completely was the answer. It made sense. Carbs are often blamed for weight gain, right? I figured that if I removed bread, pasta, and even fruits, I'd finally get the results I'd been hoping for. At first it seemed like a miracle. My weight dropped and I felt a little lighter. For the first few days, I had this burst of energy, and honestly, I thought I had found the holy grail of dieting. But then, things started to change. My energy levels began to plummet and I felt sluggish. I couldn't focus at work, I started to get headaches, and even basic tasks felt exhausting. Suddenly, I was craving carbs more than ever. And when I did give in, it felt like I couldn't stop eating. The more I learned, the more I realized this no-carb hack wasn't the answer for everyone. Cutting out carbs entirely actually deprives your body of essential nutrients, and your brain depends on carbs for fuel. Without them, my body went into a kind of energy crisis, and my mood and productivity suffered. Experts say that a balanced diet with healthy carbs, like those from whole grains and vegetables, is important for maintaining energy, brain function, and overall health. So, while a no-carb diet might work for some people short-term, it's not a sustainable solution for long-term health. In fact, it could do more harm than good in the long run, leading to fatigue and nutrient imbalances. And speaking of balance, the next hack I tried was all about quick energy drinks. Have you ever relied on one of those to get through the day? Well, that didn't go well either, and I'll explain why in just a moment. So stay tuned, and remember, what works for one person may not work for you. Let me know in the comments if you've ever tried cutting carbs and how it worked out for you. Let's talk about energy drinks, a quick fix that so many of us turn to when we're feeling drained. They're marketed as the ultimate solution for tiredness and low energy, promising to keep you alert and productive no matter how little sleep you've had. I'll admit, I fell for it too. I remember the first time I reached for one during a long, exhausting day. That initial jolt of energy, it was amazing. I felt unstoppable, like I could take on anything. But what they don't tell you is what happens after that boost fades. It didn't take long for me to experience the dreaded energy crash. One moment I was full of energy, and the next I was completely drained. Worse than before, actually. I also started noticing side effects like feeling jittery, anxious, and even a little nauseous. And the more I relied on energy drinks, the more I felt stuck in this cycle, chasing a temporary fix that left me feeling worse every time. So, what's really going on here? It turns out energy drinks are loaded with caffeine and sugar, two ingredients that can wreak havoc on your body if you're not careful. Sure, the caffeine gives you a quick pick-me-up, but it can also overstimulate your nervous system, leading to those feelings of anxiety. And the sugar? It's like throwing fuel on the fire. It spikes your blood sugar, giving you that immediate rush. But it's always followed by a crash that leaves you feeling worse than before. Experts have warned about the risks of over-consuming energy drinks. Studies show they can contribute to heart palpitations, high blood pressure, and even sleep problems. And if you're already dealing with stress, these drinks can make it even harder for your body to recover and reset. So what's the alternative? Instead of reaching for an energy drink, try sipping on herbal teas or simply hydrating with water. You'd be surprised how much a good glass of water can help. Trust me, your body will thank you for choosing something natural over an artificial pick-me-up. And speaking of starting your day the right way, have you ever tried a 5-minute morning workout? It's one of the most popular health hacks out there, but is it really as good as it sounds? Stick around because I'll share my experience with it next, and it might surprise you. In the meantime, let me know in the comments if you've ever relied on energy drinks and how they made you feel. Let's talk about the 5-minute morning workout. It sounds perfect, doesn't it? A quick, minimal effort routine to start your day and stay fit without needing hours at the gym. I'll admit when I first heard about this trend, I was thrilled. 5 minutes? That's all it takes to boost your energy, burn calories and build strength? Sign me up! I started every morning feeling like I was hacking the fitness system. But here's the thing, it didn't quite work out the way I'd hoped. At first I felt great. Doing something was better than doing nothing, right? But as the weeks went by, I noticed something was missing. My energy levels weren't improving as much as I'd expected, and I didn't feel any stronger. That's when I realized a 5-minute workout might be a good start, but it's not enough to see meaningful long-term results. Here's the science behind it. Short, intense workouts can be effective if they're part of a larger, consistent plan with gradual progression. However, when they're done in isolation without increasing intensity over time, they don't build the kind of strength or endurance most of us are looking for. Muscles need repeated and progressively challenging stimuli to grow, and 5 minutes just doesn't provide enough. Plus, skipping a proper warm-up or cool-down, which often happens with these super short routines, can increase the risk of injury. So, what's the better approach? Consistency is key. Instead of relying on just 5 minutes, aim for a balanced routine that combines strength training, cardio, and flexibility exercises throughout the week. It doesn't mean spending hours at the gym. A 20 to 30-minute structured session a few times a week can make a huge difference. And if you're short on time in the mornings, try combining a short workout with a longer session later in the day. And speaking of fitness and health myths, have you ever heard that drinking more water automatically equals better hydration? In the next hack, I'll explain why this common belief might not be entirely true, and how overhydrating can actually lead to its own set of problems. Stick around, because this one surprised me, and it might surprise you too. Let me know in the comments if you've ever tried the 5-minute workout and whether it worked for you. Let's talk about one of the most common health tips we've all heard. Drink more water. It's the key to staying healthy. It sounds so simple and logical, doesn't it? I thought so too. Like many of you, I believed that the more water I drank, the better my body would function. So I started increasing my water intake drastically, thinking I was doing my health a huge favor. But what happened next? Let's just say it didn't go quite as planned. At first I felt fine, hydrated and refreshed, but soon I started noticing strange symptoms. I felt bloated, constantly running to the bathroom, and even experienced bouts of dizziness. I remember thinking, how could drinking water make me feel worse? That's when I learned about a condition called hyponatremia, or water intoxication. It turns out drinking too much water can actually dilute the sodium levels in your blood, throwing off your body's delicate balance of electrolytes. This imbalance can lead to serious problems, from headaches and fatigue to, in extreme cases, life-threatening complications. It's a sobering reminder that even something as essential as water can be harmful if overdone. Experts emphasize the importance of mindful hydration, drinking when you're thirsty and paying attention to your body's cues. And here's the kicker. Your body needs more than just water to stay hydrated. Electrolytes from sources like fruits, vegetables, or even a pinch of salt in your water can make a big difference. So, while water is vital, more doesn't always mean better. It's about finding the right balance for your body. Instead of chugging down gallons, focus on drinking mindfully and pairing water with a nutritious diet to keep your body in harmony. And speaking of balance, have you ever fallen for the low-fat food trend? It sounds like a healthy choice, but in the next hack I'll explain why these so-called health foods might not be as good for you as they seem. Stick around and let me know in the comments. Have you ever struggled with how much water you should drink? What's worked for you? Let's dive into one of the biggest myths in the health world. The idea that low-fat foods are automatically healthier. It's a concept that's been drilled into us for decades. You see it on grocery store shelves, low-fat yogurt, low-fat snacks, low-fat everything, promising to be the smarter, healthier choice. Like many people, I bought into the hype. I thought switching to low-fat options was the key to better health and weight loss. But as I soon discovered, not all that glitters is gold. When I started eating more low-fat foods, I expected to feel lighter and healthier. Instead, I noticed the opposite. My energy levels dipped, my cravings increased, and I wasn't seeing the results I'd hoped for. I started to dig deeper, and what I found was surprising, and honestly a little frustrating. Many low-fat foods aren't actually healthier, they're just cleverly marketed. When fat is removed, manufacturers often add sugars, artificial flavors, or other unhealthy substitutes to make the food taste better. The result? You're consuming more empty calories and chemicals that your body doesn't need. Good fats, like those found in avocados, nuts and olive oil, are essential for brain function, energy and even weight management. Replacing these healthy fats with sugar and additives can do more harm than good. The worst part, low-fat products can leave you feeling less satisfied, leading to overeating and, ironically, weight gain. So what's the takeaway? It's not just about the fat content, it's about the quality of the food. Whole, minimally processed foods with natural fats are almost always a better choice. Next time you're at the store, compare a low-fat product with its full-fat version. Look at the ingredients and the sugar content. You might be shocked at what you find. And speaking of quick fixes, have you ever been tempted by stress relief pills? In the next hack, I'll share my experience with these so-called miracle solutions and the surprising truth behind them. Stick around and let me know in the comments. Are you a fan of low-fat foods, or have you switched to healthier alternatives? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Stress is something we all deal with, especially as life gets busier and more unpredictable. And when stress hits, the idea of taking a quick pill to calm your nerves can sound incredibly tempting. Stress relief pills and supplements are marketed as miracle solutions. Just one capsule and poof, your anxiety melts away. I'll admit, during a particularly stressful period in my life, I gave them a try. At first it seemed like they were working. I felt calmer, less overwhelmed and more in control. But as time went on, I realized these pills weren't the solution I thought they were. While they might have provided temporary relief, they didn't address the root of the problem. Instead, they became a crutch, a quick fix that masked the deeper issues I was ignoring. Worse, I started noticing side effects like drowsiness, brain fog, and even irritability when I didn't take them. That's when I learned that some of these pills, especially those with synthetic ingredients, can lead to dependency, making you feel like you can't function without them. Experts emphasize that while supplements might have their place in some cases, they should never replace sustainable stress management strategies. Practices like deep breathing, meditation, yoga, or even a simple walk outside can be far more effective in the long run. These methods not only help you manage stress, but also improve your overall mental and physical well-being, without the risks of side effects or dependency. If you're feeling overwhelmed, start by addressing the cause of your stress rather than just the symptoms. It might take more time and effort than popping a pill, but trust me, it's worth it. Remember, the goal isn't just to survive stress, it's to thrive despite it. Speaking of hidden risks, have you ever thought about how much time you spend looking at screens? In the next hack, I'll explore the surprising impact of blue light exposure on your health and sleep. Stick around and let me know in the comments, what's your favorite way to de-stress naturally? I'd love to hear your tips and stories. Let's talk about a habit most of us are guilty of, using screens before bed. Whether it's scrolling through social media, watching a favorite TV show, or catching up on emails, it feels like the perfect way to relax after a long day. I'll admit, I was the same. My routine often included falling asleep with my phone in hand or binge-watching episodes late into the night. It felt harmless and I thought it helped me unwind. But over time I noticed something was off. My sleep became restless, and I started waking up feeling more tired than refreshed. It wasn't until I learned about the impact of blue light that everything started to make sense. Blue light, emitted by phones, tablets and TVs, tricks your brain into thinking it's still daytime. It suppresses melatonin production, the hormone responsible for regulating your sleep-wake cycle. Essentially, all that late-night screen time was sabotaging my ability to fall into a deep, restorative sleep. Here's the science. Blue light exposure delays your body's internal clock, making it harder to fall asleep and reducing the quality of the sleep you do get. Over time, this can lead to chronic fatigue, irritability, and even long-term health issues. I realized I needed to make a change, and when I did, the difference was incredible. If you're struggling with sleep, try creating a no-screen rule at least an hour before bed. Instead of scrolling through your phone, consider reading a book, meditating, or journaling. You can also use blue light filters on your devices if cutting out screens completely feels too drastic. And if you're watching TV, consider dimming the lights and keeping the volume low to create a more calming environment. A good night's sleep is one of the best gifts you can give yourself. It impacts your mood, your energy, and even your ability to tackle stress. And speaking of stress, have you ever thought skipping meals might be an easy way to manage weight or save time? In the next and final hack, I'll share why this strategy might be doing more harm than good. Stick around and let me know in the comments. What's your nighttime routine? Do you have a screen-free strategy that works for you? Skipping meals. It sounds like an easy solution, doesn't it? You cut out a meal, save on calories, and the pounds will just melt away. That's what I thought too. I was drawn to the idea of intermittent fasting and skipping meals, convinced it would help me shed some weight quickly while simplifying my routine. At first, it seemed to work. I felt lighter and even a bit accomplished. But over time, the cracks in this plan started to show, and they weren't small ones. I found myself overeating during my next meal, trying to make up for the hunger I'd been ignoring all day. My energy levels were all over the place. I'd feel sluggish and unfocused, especially in the afternoons. Worst of all, I learned that skipping meals was actually working against my metabolism. Instead of burning fat, my body started holding on to it, thinking it was in starvation mode. Here's what the science says. Skipping meals disrupts your body's natural rhythm and can slow down your metabolism over time. When you're not giving your body the fuel it needs consistently, it starts to conserve energy, making weight loss harder in the long run. On top of that, it can lead to nutrient deficiencies, irritability, and that dreaded hangry feeling. So what's the alternative? Balanced, mindful eating. Instead of skipping meals, focus on meals that combine protein, healthy fats, and complex carbs. This approach keeps your blood sugar stable and your metabolism firing on all cylinders. It's not about eating more, it's about eating smarter. Take a moment to think about your own eating habits. Do you find yourself skipping meals because you're too busy or trying to lose weight? I've been there, but trust me, prioritizing balanced nutrition is worth it. At the end of the day, your body thrives on consistency, not deprivation. A balanced approach to eating will not only help you maintain a healthy weight, but also keep you energized and feeling your best. As we wrap up, let's quickly revisit the 8 health hacks we explored today. Those trends that promised amazing results, but didn't quite deliver. First, we discussed the no-carb diet, which seemed revolutionary but left us drained and missing the balance our bodies need. Then came the energy drink craze, where short-term boosts led to crashes and long-term health risks. The 5-minute morning workout promised a quick fix but fell short of building real strength and fitness. We also tackled the myth of more water equals better hydration, which taught us that balance is key, even with something as simple as drinking water. Next was the low-fat food trap, revealing how hidden sugars and additives in healthier options can do more harm than good. Stress relief pills seemed like an easy answer, but we learned that sustainable stress management is always better than relying on quick fixes. Then we explored how blue light exposure before bed can wreck our sleep, and finally the pitfalls of skipping meals, which left us feeling fatigued and frustrated instead of energized and healthy. What's the common thread here? It's the reminder that quick fixes often come with unintended consequences. While it's tempting to jump on the latest trend, our health thrives on balance, mindfulness, and consistency. Small, sustainable changes, like eating a variety of whole foods, staying active and getting enough rest, create lasting results that no hack can replace. Now, I want to hear from you. Have you tried any of these hacks before? Did they work for you, or did you have a similar experience? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your story might help someone else on their health journey. If you found today's video helpful, give it a like to support the channel. And don't forget to subscribe for more tips like these. And before you go, check out for more related video, for even more insights into staying healthy after 60. Remember, health is a journey, not a sprint, and you're doing amazing just by taking steps to prioritize it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.